Ahoy, this is Zdenka. HOVERAir X1 self-flying camera had a permanent spot in my camera bag for the past year. It's small, easy to use and safe. It's perfect for quick everyday shots. You have seen many shots in my past videos. 00 Robotics, who is also sponsor of this video, created two new products this year, HOVERAir X1 Pro and HOVERAir X1 PROMAX. HOVERAir X1 Pro is a step-up camera designed for those who love action shots. HOVERAir X1 PROMAX, that I am thrilled to introduce and test in this video, is the world's first 8K action flying camera, promising top image quality that all professionals appreciate. I have been dying to get my hands on this. I watched the whole presentation when this was announced. I'm not gonna say more, let's just go straight to flying. I'm really excited about this one. For those who are not familiar with Hover at all, the easiest and fastest way to fly HOVERAir X1 PROMAX is like this. Open it up, turn it on, select one of the flying modes, and press the button. Once you're finished, extend your hand and let the hover land on your hand directly. The PROMAX is a very light drone. It weighs 192.5 grams. The propellers are fully protected by hyper-elastic material, so it's very safe around people. It's very safe to take off and landing in your hand. In the package, you will find this card with sample HEM hyper-elastic material frame, and it says, try to tear it or break it. You can bend it. You can do whatever you want. It's just not gonna break. HOVERAir X1 PROMAX has a very nice display where you can see all fly modes. There are 10 flight modes in total that can be fully customized in the app. You can select 7 preferred modes that you can switch here with the left and right buttons. The mode's parameters are displayed below. For example, here for zoom out mode, I customized the mode to fly 9 meters away in a high altitude. The battery level is on the right and an omni-terrain icon is on the left. When you are going to be flying this camera outdoors and the omni-terrain will activate and the icon will be enabled, it means that now you can fly in any automatic flight mode anywhere, over the cliff, over the water and snow. Keep in mind that if you are going to be flying over the water, the minimum altitude must not be lower than 1.5 meters. You can also fly at night. Let me show you some modes I really like using quite a bit. The first one is Orbit. It is such a nice hero shot. The hover will simply circle around you. You can select the distance and altitude. I have set 6 meters distance and low altitude. The second mode I really like is Zoom Out. It showcases the location you are at. I like to always go with longer distance of 9 meters and high altitude. All the shots you're looking at were filmed at 8K 24 frames per second. PROMAX features custom 7-layer lens that gives you vibrant colors and clarity. It has 14 stops of dynamic range and field of view is 107 degrees. Dolly track is fun mode. This one always makes me smile as I chase the drone. It also looks like I have another camera person with me, which brings the production to the next level, even though I film by myself. I have medium distance selected and flat altitude in this shot. Now is a good time to talk about collision detection as Hover is backing up. The HOVERAir X1 Pro has rear time of flight proximity sensors that support braking before collisions at speeds up to 1.5 meters a second. PROMAX has an additional visual sensor, so it can handle braking at speeds of up to 3 meters a second. Let's stay with speeds for a bit. Another advantage of Hover is that it will give you really great tracking at high speeds compared to other action cameras. It can follow you from behind, to the side and front at different heights and distances up to 42 kilometers an hour and even hit burst speeds of up to 60 kilometers an hour. So if you're cycling, skating, skiing, this is your best friend to have. I can't really demonstrate much here because right now we hit winter. E-bikes and e-scooters are winterized right now. We don't have enough snow yet to be able to ski. The scenery is not that flattering right now for anything cinematic, but I'm working with what I've got. I'm trying my best. The only option left for me is running, and that won't be easy as I just came from vacation. There was way too much food. I guess running is perfect for me right now. The battery gives you 16 minutes flight time, and maximum flight height is 120 meters. Hover can handle wind resistance level 5, that is 10.7 meters a second. Just a quick note, always check local laws when it comes to flying a drone. I have a smart battery in this package that is designed to be able to handle cold temperatures up to -5 degrees Celsius. They also offer thermal batteries that can be charged down to -20 degrees Celsius and fly in cold conditions from -10 degrees. Since I live in cold Canada, I will definitely invest in those batteries. So far, I have covered all automatic filming. Let's go into HOVERair app and show you how you can customize the flying modes and picture quality. Once I connect Hover, I can check how much storage I have left. Hover has 64 gigabyte storage, but you can also add up to 1 terabyte SD card. You can enter Hover settings, see the album, select Smart Preview, enter Manual Flying, I'll get to that one shortly, or enter Flight Mode settings. Let's just go to Hover settings. Here I can change flight modes. I can select what modes I want to have by default. At the bottom are currently selected flight modes. I can also change the order and replace them. Let's go back and hit, for example, just the basic hover mode. I can change record duration and I can disable target tracking. I can change camera settings. Shooting modes offered are normal, HDR, that is 10-bit HLG, slow motion, and Hover Cine. Normal lets you film in 8K, 24, 25, and 30 frames per second. HDR 4K up to 60 frames per second. Slow motion 4K, 100 or 120 frames per second. And Hover Cine 4K up to 60 frames per second. You can also film in vertical mode, so getting really high quality cinematic shots in a normal shooting mode 4K resolution for social media is not a problem. You can zoom in 1 time or 2 times. Video encoding offered is H.264 and H.265. And lastly, filters are available as well. Standard, soft, and vivid. Let's go back. So here is where you can quickly change all settings for your flight modes. Under General Settings is where you can enable ND filter optimization. Full disclosure, I ordered the ND filters for Hover, but Canada Post was on strike until yesterday. So it didn't get here yet, and I don't know how long it's gonna take before it's gonna get here yet because they have such a big backup right now. But don't worry, I will be creating in-depth tutorial, a full guide how to use this drone next, and I will include those filters as well. So don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Sound recording is next. Here is where you can select normal noise reduction, extreme, or turn off sound recording altogether. You can record the sound through your phone. It will cancel the sound of propellers. Then we have image optimization. There are two choices: face optimization and landscape optimization. Next is firmware update, storage management, and voice settings. You can lower the volume up or down or turn it off. There is also IMU calibration, language, and unit of length. These were all automatic flight mode settings. Let's go back to the main page and hit the manual controls. Here is where you can get the most when it comes to filming cinematic landscapes, as you can control exposure value, ISO, and shutter speed manually. You can also fly hover as any other drone with the help of the joysticks on the screen. Everything can be fully customized further. If you don't want a joystick, you can go with directional buttons. You can control hover direction, camera settings can be changed all here once again, and joystick settings as well. If you are going to be using a smartphone to control the hover, you will get up to 500 meters transmission range. There is an optional accessory you can buy, and I'm going to buy that one as well, which is a beacon. That one will give you up to 1 kilometer transmission range. I am going to link HOVERAir X1 PROMAX and all accessories below the video in a video description for those interested. I am very much looking forward to make this my new best friend for 2025, and I am not alone. As I mentioned earlier, I just returned from vacation. In fact, during my travels last week, I've met a person who works on Celebrity Equinox cruise ship, and that person happened to have this particular drone as well, and he told me exactly the same thing. I'm trying to make this my new best friend. I am sure you're watching. I didn't catch your name. Feel free to leave a comment below. Let us know how you are enjoying HOVERAir X1 PROMAX so far. Give it a thumbs up if you found this video informative. Don't forget to leave comments and questions below, and check out one of these videos next. See you there. Ciao. Ahoj.